motherfucking ass be talking all this shit, and I just be like, what the fuck, bitch? Cause your ass be out here doing whatever, and I just be like, I be sitting in the house with the kids and shit, and your ass be motherfucking talking about, oh, I got work. Nigga, fuck your work. You feel me? Like, yo.
Yeah, I understand how you feel, but feelings are trivial when it comes to what's really real. You see, the thing is, a human being is revealed to the energies of the universe, and it hurts when we feel like somebody's attacking us, and we try to protect the ego and we go backwards. But we supposed to be moving forward, and something is there telling us this, but we just ignore it. Yeah, I understand you ain't feeling me, shit, and understand I ain't feeling you. And everything that you see in me that you don't like, just understand that it's still in you. And while the revenue of your negativity is killing you, I've been losing myself, trying to find a better you. We expect from others what we barely do. The world is big, shit, we barely know what we barely knew. Yeah, I understand you don't understand, cause understanding can only come from what's understood. And underneath it is our perception of bad and good, and that perception is our direction to where we stand. And where we stand is a projection of where we stood, and where we stood is a reflection of who we were. And who we were is an expression of our limited understanding at that time that connects us back to the human birth. Do you know your worth? And I don't say that so that we can overvalue ourselves, thinking we're more than what we are, when what we need is honest humility. You feeling me? From beyond the infinity, infinitely, I'm phenomenal me. And it's not an anomaly that we never saw what we never see. The truth is, we'll never be what we'll never be. Free, black dolphin, black dolphin. 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 Would you believe if I told you that what we need is the closure of the preceding corrosion? Because the seated and frozen is the position we find ourselves in, condition of holding on to the shit that defines ourselves in ridiculous motions of our indicative differences and the different emotions. And we just stick with the sickness and become sick with the notions of all the shit that we've been through, cause bad decisions were chosen. And in the rise of the consciousness, intuition is golden. Intuition is golden. Intuition is golden. When you walk on the path that the destiny's holding, and the rest of me making sure that the best of me showing, and the best to be showing, cause our best to be growing, and it's best to be moving in such a way that the way that we moving is moving away from the way we was moving. And it's best to be living out every day in a way that we can be proud of our life on the day that we lose it. I see it all. We constantly facing the face of the mirror, the catch of the matrix, and back to the basics and fundamentals of living amazing and dying amazing. The eye be blazing and causing us to see it all. From beyond the infinity, infinitely, I'm phenomenal me. And it's not an anomaly that we never saw what we never see. The truth is, we'll never be what we'll never be. Free, black dolphin, black dolphin. 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 Free, black dolphin, black dolphin.
What's up? What's up, fam? Welcome to Bettermindz Interrupting. And so I am your host, Brown Girl Interrupting. And today we actually have a special co-host with us. Tonight's special guest co-host, and we are missing our lovely T, but she cannot be with us tonight. So we have got a guest host who is a real estate investor, father, content creator, and all-around good man. His name is Ishe of Living Ishe Reviews, and he's a digital content creator, and he reviews media and pop culture and relationships. So, Ishe. Go ahead and introduce
Oh,
yourselves. Welcome.
hi, Brown Girl Interrupting. Thank you for the introduction. I'm Ishe. My YouTube channel, Ishe Reviews, Living Ishe Reviews. I just started out doing reviews of reality shows. Right now, I'm doing Ready to Love and DC, and that season's halfway through. So I started doing travel videos of some of my travels, and I just started narrating them. So be on the lookout for that. And I think Brown Girl told you a lot about my personal things that I do. Real estate, well, that's kind of on the side. Yeah, a couple of side things plus a real job. And yeah, just taking care of my boy. So that's about it.
Yeah, well, thank you for being here. Yeah, we all got to do the 9 to 5 in addition, but clearly lots of creation going on for you. And it sounds like your niche is a lot of stuff with relationships. I mean, I think I heard a lot of relationship shows in there. So you got some knowledge on dynamics. Is there like a particular perspective you share on some of these shows?
A particular perspective. Um, I'm a man of a certain age, so my perspective is experience based and the experience of others, and lots of therapy. We could all use therapy. Like, men, don't be afraid to get therapy and counseling. It really helps. But yeah, I like to
All right,
do
I
the
love it. Look,
relationship
Ready
stuff.
to Love, right?
Yes, Ready to Love
Yeah,
is a
yeah. Well,
show
so
with
we're
a
we're
lot
gonna
of layers. Hmm?
nice. So I definitely want to dig into that a little bit more. And definitely, I think so. We got the first man that don't tell the age. Yeah, man of a certain age, right?
A
I'm
certain
curious
age.
to know what man of a certain age perspective actually entails. Uh, but
Yeah,
but definitely,
somebody
we're gonna
living.
have to find out a little bit more. Go ahead.
Okay. All right.
All right, so you can
Yes,
check him
it's my
out.
channel. Yeah, yeah, it's content. There's a lot of content on my page, so check it out. Be in and enjoy.
All right,
I try
so
to do something
everybody
every week.
goes to YouTube for Living Ishe reviews,
I'm sorry.
where we go to find out about Living Ishe and see your reviews.
Oh yeah, just search "Living Ishe" with a accent on the E, reviews, and I should come up. And I'm also on Instagram, Living Ishe on Instagram. All right.
So gotta go out in the meantime. Nice. Nice. He is hilarious. A lot of good content and man of a certain age perspectives that are pretty funny from different angles for sure. So because we all know relationships are complicated. Speaking of which, you are actually someone who's been in our audience for a while for Better Minds Interrupting. So you've been watching, you
I try to,
engage, you definitely are in the chat.
yeah, I try to contribute, and I try to throw some good things in there. Try to answer some questions. Give y'all something else to think about.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it for sure. And so I guess so like I'm just curious to know because I think that sometimes women are the only ones that seem to feel like they need that healing, and it's harder to get guys to think about spiritual healing the same way sometimes. So I would just curious to know like what is it that draws you in, what keeps you with us and like keeps you following. Is there like any particular like episodes that have like resonated with you that you've watched that like have kind of hit a chord or helped in some way?
Um, I think, yeah, y'all show I love the show because it's more of I would say like in a life coaching kind of style, and the topics. I like how you take like a word um, and just go with that as a topic, and just build on that word and all the meanings and the you know just giving certain examples and then asking questions about it. So what I like about it is, you guys are very interactive. So um, yeah, I mean, I always learn something. Like, what was the last thing? I can't remember what the last thing we that I saw on your, but um, mainly like trust in the process is what I get. So
Hmm.
you do outline like certain ways to deal with things by certain processes that help people. So I hope that was not in a circle. It didn't go
No,
wrong.
that was cool, and I think that's you. We're I'm grateful, and I know Lovely T is too, that you follow the show, that you interact, that you post some good questions. You got us thinking. That's definitely how we want to connect on this show and get people thinking. And it's about spiritual healing. So thanks for coming on. And since we don't have, because you said, yeah, like vocabulary and definitions and the spiritual content is all our lovely tea. So today we're going to take a little bit of a veer and go this way. And we're going a little bit more in the brown girl interrupting and a little less of the better minds interrupting today. I'm going to start with I got a blog. I think I've seen you've read some things on my blog. This is me, Brown Girl Interrupting. And my most recent post is called Revolution Over Romance from Pain to Power. So it sounds like you got, and Lovely T is very much in the chat. She is
Hey,
not
lovely
with us.
T.
She is with us.
Oh,
She is with us. She just ain't present on the screen.
hope you get
Definitely a
better.
shout out to Lovely T. So, revolution over romance from pain to power. So, Ishe, have you read this post?
Yes, I have.
All right. Wow.
I read
So,
mostly.
and
I read every post because I get the emails. So everybody sign up so you can get that email to new blog posts every time she posts.
there you go. Thank you for that plug. Yeah. So for sure, like you got to go to the website, www.browngirlinterrupting.com. And I got the post. You put your email in and you will get them right away. Subscribe right at the top. There you go. Right. And just like you say, you will get them right in your inbox and you can't avoid it. But so it's about the story of healing, right? A lot of these posts are about healing. So this one's called Revolution Over Romance from Pain to Power. And I thought it's a great place to start in some conversations on someone who examines relationships on media and shows on this idea of how we move from pain to power. So I got some questions for you if you're ready for me.
Oh, okay, but I got a question for you before your questions.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Um, how did you come up with the name Revolution Over Romance? No, I mean, whatever way you came up with it, it's just I like that name. Like, how did you think of that?
Yeah. So I was inspired. For those of y'all who know Dr. Omar Johnson on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, he certainly puts revolution over romance, and I like the title. I'm all about alliteration, so that's what it is. And it comes down to, for me, right? It's the idea that sometimes we have to focus on ourselves and growth and power over relationships. Oh, and it says romance, but it's kind of a play on words, because romance is sometimes relationships are family and kids and other dynamics, right? So
Well,
so that's
whatever.
that's
Yeah,
it.
I mean, yeah. So yeah, however you came up with that name, just make sure you say it 3 times, like the good doctor.
Yes, you do, right? You got to remember it. Revolution over romance, revolution over romance, revolution over
And then
romance.
hit the cash
Because
out. Hit the cash out.
so look, and humor is the way to go. You gotta, that's part of the pain to power for me, is always you gotta laugh through it all. So let me ask you, pain to power. When you hear that, like this idea of taking pain and moving it into power, have you ever had experiences like that where you've had to take something's happened and figure out where you're going to go from it?
Yeah, pain. Yeah, I mean, the only way you can get over that pain is to take your power back, and that is by executing. So, which means you got to do stuff like, but for yourself, like not like I don't mean like the Solange song, that one what's it called? Like Cranes in the Sky, I think, where she's like, I tried to drink it away, I tried to dance it away, I tried to fuck it away. You don't
Right.
want to do that.
Everything not to feel it is different than pain to power.
Yeah,
Those
so
are the
you have to-
Band-Aids.
Right. So you have to not be reckless in what you are about to do, but you also need to know that you always have options, right? So taking that pain to power is knowing, even, well, if you don't believe you have options, you got to know that there's always another option. It may not be a lot, but there's always something else. So
I like that you said that about options, because I was thinking, I just heard something today about that every morning you wake up and you have a chance and you have a choice. So there's your options, right? You got a chance to live your day, to open up, to try something, and then you got choices to make. So those are your options. So let's get into, how have you chosen some of your own options? Like, what has helped you get from pain to power? What's up? So hold on, before I have you answer that, Mr. Jones, what's up? Kings and queens in the panel and on the chat, welcome, Mr. Jones. Glad to have you here.
welcome. Oh, that's a nice. True. Yeah. Moving out of desperation will always get you messed up. Man, been there. Definitely been there before. So where's we at? Options.
Right? What are your options? Yeah. So
well,
what have been some of your options to help you get there?
To get out of pain?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's options. There's a Meetup app. There's finding new things to do. Like, you also have an option of bettering yourself. It's kind of cliche. Oh, I'm just gonna work on myself. But you got to, like, that's how I do a lot of stuff that I'm doing now. There's also, confidence helps you to move on too. It helps you to get over that pain, and you get confidence from actually executing, actually taking actions is where you get the confidence, because you put your intentions like, I'm going to do this, and you just go and do it before you talk yourself out of it. Because a lot of us have good ideas, but somehow we'll talk ourselves out of it, or, whether we're too busy, whether, maybe it's not going to work, or just being negative in general,
Yeah. No, I think, and that's the challenge, right? The challenge, I think, with that pain to power thing is exactly, it's the options, and it's that negativity and that confidence, because I think you have to keep drawing on it. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but I think, like, it's not like a one and done, right? Like, oh, I got the confidence, I'm done. Now I'm like set, I got this, right? Like, you're constantly coming back to it and like having to remind yourself to move through things, that you're strong enough, that you're, you got the power. And that's a hard thing. So let me ask, like, in terms of, because it's kind of a treat having a guy on for perspective, because usually it's me and Trini, and she's still in the chat and she's still going to add in. But just curious to know, as a man, is there a difference in how that's approached than maybe, say, like for women? So you saw how I wrote this post, right? Like, my process was one thing. Would you say that for men, the process is the same?
No, I think the process can be the same. I just think biologically, I don't want to be like generalizing. I just think biologically, men will move on something faster than a woman. I think because we're used to being reckless or taking risks. So I think women are more calculated, more guarded before they do something. They just don't, you wouldn't be a wise mother, right? If you just did stuff. So
Right.
I think that's why I'm talking about, like, you see people doing dumb stuff all the time, like the crate challenge, that, for example. But I forgot what I was saying. What'd you ask me? No.
The reckless men, right? Y'all are just going.
Yeah. See, we just go for it. Yeah. But I think the process of a man and woman, the process is the same. It's just when or how you execute it. I think timing, probably, when you do it, like how long you wait before you do it. I'm kind of making a generalization.
Well, that's it. We're all making generalizations, right? Like, I mean, my writing is a generalization of my own perspective, but I think, like, that's just it, right? Like, we are sharing our own perspectives from what we've experienced or how we processed it, and it may or may not resonate with someone else, and that's okay. Like,
yeah, I mean, also, everything comes from inside. So from the inside, outside, right? Because you can't do right if you're not doing right inside. You can't do right outside. So that the way I think another way is like how you just, how can I say this? Just do it before you change your mind, and you have to be grateful. Yeah, it depends on the maturity of a person. So younger, both people could be like just not do something, want to do something crazy. But I found
maturity isn't age as much as it is mentality, right?
Exactly. Yeah, because there's some younger people who have a lot more wisdom than I do, and I have a lot more wisdom than some older people I know. So yeah, it depends on the person and their life experience and how their outlook on life. But I found also by being grateful, if I was in pain, I would just every morning before I got out the bed, once I woke up, I would just name 10 things I'm grateful for. And that it starts to work in your subconscious conscience. And then you kind of live, it's kind of like a manifesting thing. So I think, and it helps, because then you know why you should still be here, why not to give up. Look at all these great things I have to be grateful for. So either let me do something for somebody else, or let me just be grateful just for having somebody or something.
No, I love that. And that's powerful, right? Because I think it's that internal mindset that has to shift. And that's what you keep coming back to, is like reminding your mindset. I love the gratefulness idea. And in the chat, if there's anything, like, how have you moved pain from power, pain to power? Any ideas? Like, what's helped you get through that? Definitely share some thoughts with us if you're in the chat. So with that, Ishe,
why are you smiling?
No, I'm glad to. I appreciate your input, man. I appreciate it. You got some good thoughts with us. So, revolution over romance. Um, let's talk about that romance piece. Like, I'm gonna ask you some questions. I'm curious to know more about your shows and how you're doing them. So, what led you to start reviewing these romance shows?
I don't think that's is that a romance show?
I mean,
I
so
don't know.
the shows you wrote that you're reviewing that I've seen, Ready to Love, and
Oh,
what's your
the
other show?
Blue Therapy, the Real Housewives of Potomac.
So it's
Oh,
an
wait a minute. Hold
interesting
on.
choices. Tell us a little bit
Let me
about
get a
those choices.
disclaimer. Yeah, disclaimer out there. So y'all start going crazy. I still make sure to watch sports with my son. But anyway, I got to the reality shows because of COVID. So I was just watching this, and then that was the time when all the games was just trash. So yeah, it was COVID. I got to the reality shows, and the easier ones to review are kind of like the love ones or the romance ones, if you will. So, and I don't know. I got started on Ready to Love watching that, and it's an all black show, so it's just interesting to see how people interact and how they get to the end of they have a challenge. So the show has to end up with 2 or 3 couples. They don't have a good track record though.
So I'm curious to know, what have you learned or changed in your perspective on relationships from watching all these relationship shows? Like, has it shifted? Has it changed? Do you think about things differently?
Well, if you was just to watch TV and you didn't know any real people, I think you would. I mean, for me, watching those shows is that relationships don't work. I mean, if from watching the shows, but luckily, I know real people in the real world. So, uh, what else did you want me to say about that?
No,
About
I'm
the
just curious to
question?
know for you, like, are there things about dynamics? I always think it's really
Oh,
interesting how
with
certain
the
dynamics come up on those shows, right? And you do a really good job of analyzing them. So if you watch a show, you'll see he analyzes the dynamics between how the women and the men respond to each other and respond to each other. So the women and the women and the men and the men. So like what have you thought about or like changed in thinking about the way women interact with men or men and men, whatever in those dynamics? He roasts their ass too. He does, Ja. He definitely does.
yeah,
And
I
it's
had to be.
necessary. They do some stupid ass shit. So it's like, it's necessary.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, because we all yell at the TV, so I just do it on screen, so y'all see it too. As if I got to go through it, y'all got to go through it too. Nah. Um. So yeah, the relationship. I mean, you learn like halfway. You learn like everybody does the same thing, right? Another way you learn is no matter how old or young somebody is, they either dumb as heck, or they real smart and shouldn't be on the show. And I think lately I've been noticing that there's a lot of people that just should not be going on these shows. I don't know if they're doing it just to be on TV or if they really think that they really trust that process. But you learn a lot about like, oh yeah, I've been there, or like, nah, this will never happen in a million years. Was that scripted? Did they write that? It's supposed to be real. So I mean, those shows. I don't know. Other than that, I think. I used to. I don't think I do no more. But do you think you? I think you can get more perspective of the opposite sex if you believe in what the storyline is or what they're talking about.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I mean,
that's cool.
because
And
we often tend to believe what we see on TV, and sometimes it is life imitating art. So I think it all just coincides. I mean, you can learn some stuff, should you, but you gotta like take it like food, take the meat and then throw the rest away or something like that. However that goes. What about you? I know you don't watch too many of them, but the ones that you know about are the ones you watch. How do you learn anything from those, or do you take away anything
mm,
other than entertainment?
well, they're definitely entertaining, and I will say that I have definitely wondered like who comes on the show just to be on a show and who comes on the show to actually look for like a relationship, right? Because that's what I'm always curious about, like who's legit, right? Like, I think what I have realized in some of these dynamics is that there are like these kind of like you said, they're patterns, right? They're like certain ways that the women feel they need to engage with the guys that's like the same, and the ones who stand out either end up being the ones that don't get on the show, or they stand out and they are the ones that like are kind of like the more popular women or the more popular men. So like being the status quo does not work, right? Like I think that that's one of the things I've picked up on, at least from watching these.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think like, did these producers write this thing because this will never happen, in a million years or something like that would never happen. It's like you really can't trust what you watch, and everything is not real. Like reality shows ain't real, but just the situations that they get themselves into, their reactions are real a lot of the time. So um, you can, honestly, okay, so we talking about getting out of pain, right? Getting from pain to power. Watching reality shows can help you do that. Like,
That is
I
true,
thought my
right? Because
life
you'd be
was
like,
messed
their
up.
life is way worse than mine,
Yeah,
right?
so
Like,
you can take the focus off yourself for a while, you know.
oh, I agree, right? When you can take it off of you and deal with someone else is a good thing. Like, I mean, but that can happen in real life too. I've definitely seen that. Like, I've had experiences. I think I've gone through some shit in the last few months, and I think every time like someone else has needed me, I have I have responded like in like that's helped me not think about me for a little bit, right? Flavor
Oh
Flav
yeah,
was really kissing them girls.
I see that you can't fake that one. Like that's part of a reality show. So yeah, so those
You, yes,
see,
yes.
that was a fun show. Like I liked the Flavor Flav, Flavor Love. I liked Ray J's show. I like the ones with the guys. They have their choice of women, and you see how the women fight with each other, and then who ends up with who. You know.
Yeah, I mean, and there's entertainment, right? Like it is entertainment sake, right? So you got the cat fights and you got the competition, and that's definitely like getting people to watch, and it's interesting. I will say though that the dating pool sucks, and the whole game of dating right now, like I think that's one thing though. Like I have been separated for 3 years now, and like it's new. It's been new. Like the whole thing is just like crazy. And so I think some of those reality shows actually are not that off from how ridiculous
Oh,
and sometimes even competitive, right? Because it seems like, especially in like some of the shows you're watching, I feel like the women are always working harder than the men.
uh, that's a good. That's a good. I don't know. That's debatable.
I don't know. That's
uh,
my thought. It just seems
I
like
think
the women
some
are
of the
trying
men.
harder than the men to keep
Well,
that situation.
there's always one or two that's doing too much and doing a lot. So, um, seeing that, then going the opposite way, it may make you think that they're not doing it. Yeah.
A realistic reality check. Look, it would be. Oh my god. Oh my god. The shit that happens on dates. Like I've heard some crazy ass stories of things and experienced crazy ass stories. Like it just happens, right? Like it's crazy out there. There's some wild people who are, and this whole idea of like online dating has just opened up a whole nother pool, right?
Yeah, dating, yeah, it's I mean, it's crazy. It's either you go the natural route or you go online, online, and sometimes yeah, it's no telling who you'll run into, or what you'll get scammed out of. Like there's a I mean, yeah, people going there. That's a new kind of scam. Like I was watching this show. It was Harlem. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's
Yeah,
new.
yeah.
Yeah, and the girl got on a date, got catfish. Well, she went out to meet the guy. She FaceTimed him, saw it was him, and then when they finally went on a date, it was at his seminar with a whole bunch of other women that he got online.
No, that's funny.
Yeah, so he was on there, selling stuff. Then he even charged them for food once they left.
So online dating is like the new branding of name.
Yeah,
Like you just trying to get some customers, and
everybody and everything is about branding nowadays. So
oh
you got to use that's about having options, right?
that's options, right? Like you got a whole crew of people. Like you got
Right.
options now.
Yeah, so and he went on it, on a dating site to get, his hustle was that was A1. But yeah, I mean,
Oh, women do it all the time. Josh says they join OnlyFans. That's true. I mean, like
man,
it's women too. Yo, there's definitely some stuff, right? Online dating is the revolution.
revolution
Over romance. It's over romance for sure. There's something about it, right? There ain't no romance going on in that situation. Oh Lord, yeah. And catfishing, man. Catfishing is a real thing. Now, have you know what? I'd be curious to see you review a catfishing show. That would be pretty good. That would be my suggestion for you.
I mean, yeah, I might I've been thinking about that. So that's a good idea. Thank you. You might see one out there. You said a cheating show? Cheaters?
Hi, cheaters. Oh, that's another one too, right? I mean, for certain. That's the pain. That's the pain.
But that one's funny because it's being hosted by a well-known cheater. So Peter Guns. But anyway, what are we? No, you was asked. No, let's not talk about dating. It sucks just talking about it.
All right, so let me ask you, because I got another post coming out, and I was thinking about it. So we could just use this space to talk about it. It's about parenting a little bit more, because I think for me, so there's romance and dating, but there's also parenting, and you're a parent, right? You got you've got kids, and so I think I wonder like how my post is called Family Ties, and it's all about the bonds of maternal bonds between daughter and mother. And for me, it's the idea of this connection of seeing yourself in someone else. So you've got a son, and some of your travel videos are actually about your son, right? Like so I saw you traveled with him. So I'm curious to know what you learned about yourself as a parent on some of these travels that you've had and you've been like videotaping.
Man, I learned I am really a calm parent. Like I'm super calm, because there was moments where like he was just pushing every button for a second. And I was like, anybody else would already got up and just, but I didn't do it. So
So
yeah,
what's your secret? Because being a calm parent is hard as shit, especially in traveling. Like, so what is your secret? Like, how do you think you're able to ground yourself as a parent?
hmm, um, I think if you like you calm down by realizing they just being kids and they sometimes you gotta I think we just try to not to let our kids make mistakes that we already know.
Mhm.
Sometimes they gotta make some of their own mistakes, but I don't know, it's part my natural tenement temperament and yeah, probably just my thought process. So I mean there was one time where like we took a Uber in Nairobi. I mean, in Kenya, and we got to the stop, and I got out and closed the door. I turned around, the Uber pulled off, and he was in there, and I had to yell, like, "What are you doing? Like, you know
Oh
who we
no! You
are?"
almost lost your kid in an Uber in another country.
I know.
Damn.
I'm like, you
That's
know how far
parenting
we are, right,
gold.
from home? Yeah, yeah. I mean, he
But you
if it
stayed
was me in
calm.
my mind, it'd been different. Yeah, but
But yo, look, but see, that's the stuff, right? I think like the ability to stay like that's a plot for a few movies. Yes, for sure,
I've
Ja,
seen that
right?
somewhere.
Those are
Yeah,
definitely the moments where I think you're tested. So like this idea of pain to power is like it's very much a thing in parenting. When you take those
yeah,
moments where you could have pain, where you could be frustrated, where you could be overwhelmed, and you turn it into a lesson or you turn it into a moment where you can laugh about it, right? I think even that's pain to power to me, right? Like those
yeah.
moments where like now you'll probably you probably had like an inside joke in Ubers like with him now, right? Like just
Oh yeah,
just just remember to get out, all right? Like what's
yeah. The next time we take one, he's done. He's done. He's gonna be so tired of these Uber jokes.
Oh man. No, but so it's hard. It's hard. So I got a 5-year-old daughter, and I think for me, she's actually teaching me, like when we talk about the idea of maturity, man, this chick is mature as hell. Like she teaches me stuff that I don't even realize I need to learn sometimes, particularly like when it comes to like the way I've disciplined her, which has been so different than the way I discipline my boys for sure. But a lot of it is that like I think it's letting go of the control, right?
Yeah,
Like in
yeah,
in and for me, I think it's also like it's been like I see her as a tiny human. Like
yeah,
but I know that sounds stupid, but like it's simple, but like I don't think we always see people in their humanity, right? Like we see people as like as functions in our lives, but we don't see who they are individually. And like so part of my writing is it's this idea of breaking kind of generational harm because maternal bonds have often been harmful in my history in my family, particularly in my mom's side of the family. And one of my goals is to get my relationship with my daughter to be different, right? So it's all of those things. It's being a calmer parent, like you said, right? It's like the laughter, it's the letting go, it's letting them make their own mistakes. But that's hard. That's hard to do
yeah.
as a parent. Like,
The mistakes
so
within reason. It's a case by case basis with mistakes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you kind of just want to balance. You want them. You want them to see you as a calm parent because they want to be like the person who um, has it together. Like when if they, you know, get crazy or riled up about something, they don't need to see you as that type of person, because either they'll be they'll do the opposite and be overly
Mm-hmm.
protective, or if you was like that, then they'd be like really docile, you know.
Mm.
So
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I think it could go both ways, right? Either way, though, you're taking some kind of a light from them, right? Because they're
Yeah,
changing themselves based on your behavior,
yeah. You want
whether it's to go
your
into
kid
a
to be
shell
safe.
or to become,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a way of that's a way of safety. Not just being knowing that you'll do whatever, but they just know it internally when they see you always try to keep cool about stuff. And the last thing you need to do, depending on how you discipline them, uh, each kid is different. It might lead to violence with one kid, and it might lead to other stuff with another. You know, so
Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah,
so now going like so he's your son, right? And you're a man. So I would say like one of the things that I've noticed is for me and my daughter, it's like I've learned, and I was talking about this the other day, it's like I think I've learned more about how to be a woman through having a daughter. Do you feel like you've learned things about what type of man you want to be through having a son, or like even teaching him how to be a man?
yeah, that's what you also doing because they like bounty. The quicker picker upper. Um, you want to you want them to you want to
Soaking
be
it
the
in.
see that was a dad joke. See that's you got to know
Is that one of
humor.
your strategies? The dad jokes? Is
Yeah,
that's how you get them?
you gotta yeah you gotta be their source of entertainment. You know you gotta know how to switch it on, switch it off. But
Yes.
yeah,
Just One Love says kids mimic their atmosphere, positive and negative, become adults, then do what they want. Yeah, that's for sure. Mimic their atmosphere. So what we put out there is what they're gonna sponge up, right? Just like you said, like
mhm,
bounty picker, quicker picker upper.
yeah,
Yeah, and then when they become adults, they're going to do what they want. So, but I do believe in the idea, though, that you give your kids roots and wings. So those foundations of whatever it is, right? The calmness, the laughter, the ability to transition from hard moments to like getting over them is all the foundation that even when they're on their own and they're making their own decision, I feel like in the back of their minds, they're going to have those basics that you've given them.
yeah,
They still draw on them, right?
yeah, and you know figure out how to drain them of their energy because they always draining you of yours. So you
Yes, they are.
might
But
as
you
well
know
get
what?
something out of
I
them.
bet you our parents are watching us say things like that and being like, "Yeah, because y'all did it to us, right?" So,
Yeah.
like, so what about that for you? Like, have you, do you see yourself becoming like your dad, or like, do you think that you're a different kind of dad than you had?
Oh yeah, that's exactly where I get it from. Like he's calm, cool, dad. He's the in his family he's the coolest person. Like my cousins say, your dad is the coolest uncle we got. That type of cool.
Oh, all right. Jazz says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Yes, I like that
Yeah.
quote. Who says that? I
Yep.
like that, Jazz. Thanks. That's exactly it, right? They
100.
won't.
100.
They won't.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you gotta portray what you want them to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So we've been chatting it up. Thank you for coming on and co me. Before we head out, we got a couple more minutes. Just One Love. We are so glad you were here, and thank you to all our
One
folks
love.
in the chat. Oh, that's scripture. Scripture. Okay, see, I'm born Muslim. I don't know any. I don't know any scripture. So when I hear them, I think they're quotes. Like I ain't like. But so yeah, like I mean, so I'm curious to know because I mean I got a blog and I know my audience it has been when I started I think it was mostly female, but I would say now it's expanding to guys. What do you think? Like as you've been reading these posts that you say you read regularly, what resonates with you as a guy in some of the writing that you've read?
of your post?
Mm-hmm.
That I'm not the particular guy that you're talking about. Your post. That's the takeaway. I'm like, I'm glad I'm not that guy.
So it's what not to do. Is that what you're saying?
What not
It's
to do.
all what not to do. So men, if you want to read and learn what not to do and to maintain a healthy relationship, go to Brown Girl Interrupting, www.browngirlinterrupting, and subscribe with your email. And follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you to
Thank you.
Trini. We missed you, lovely
Thank you,
T.
Trini.
And yes, thank you to Ishe, man. So what's any last thoughts on what you want people to know about your production? Any big things you got coming up, ideas that are brewing in your head with all this creativity?
Oh, just check in with me every week. Living Ishe reviews. Putting up more travel videos because I got tons that I haven't had time to work on, but I got time now. So yeah, in addition to just some entertainment. Just some entertainment.
Well, and not just some entertainment. It's pretty fucking funny entertainment. He's as you can see, more than dad jokes. Ishe's got some jokes. He's got some good one-liners and zingers. And if y'all have ever watched Dormtainment or O'Shea Jackson, O'Shea Duke Jackson, right? It's like his reviews are kind of like a combination of both those things. You got some clips in here, and then he's got his commentary. So definitely check out Living Ishe Reviews and all his awesome new posts. And every week, right? So what are we on? Episode 9 coming up?
Yeah, that'll be next week. Just had episode 8. And that's kind of like one of my highest watched right now.
Ooh,
like I got 500. Well, I got 5,000 million.
Should I ask the number of highest? What's your highest? Look, I don't do numbers. Like I would do a lot of other numbers other than numbers of who's watched things of mine. So I understand. Look, ask me how many people I slept with. I'll probably tell you that easier than this, right? Like that's it. Oh shit. Wow. All right. Well, definitely subscribe and check it out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go follow him on Instagram and Brown Girl Interrupting, and Bettermindz Interrupting. We will be back again next week with my lovely T, back to do some spiritual healing and really talk about digging into the stuff that helps us better our minds and interrupt our thoughts. So same bat channel, same bat place. We are going to be here Thursday next week at 9:00. And thanks again, Ishe, for coming on and co-hosting and sharing all your insight.
Thank
definitely
you, Brown Girl
a treat.
Interrupting, and thank you, Ja Logic.
Yes, and shout out to Ja for sure.
And Ranters.
Just one love.
All right.
Yes, just one love. I'm glad to hear it. So you're now subscribed to Ishe.
Thanks, just one love. There you go.
And thanks to all of our people in the chat for sharing and for being here and following. We will see you next week. Peace out, fam. Hi, my name is Maria, but you are soon going to know me as Brown Girl Interrupting. And what I mean by that is that very soon, hopefully, you're going to be following my blog. I am a writer, and I started writing because I was married, I had children, and then my life changed when I separated, and I did a lot of learning and reflecting and growing in that process of change, because change always leads us to that. And I've decided to share that with the rest of the world, because sometimes hearing that someone else is going through the same thing as you, or understanding and putting words to the feelings and experiences we're having, helps us to heal from them, or grow from them, or learn from them. And so that's what my blog is. It's writing about life, healing, relationships, parenting, dating, marriage, pain, love, mistakes, growth, and coming out whole still in all of it as a human, flawed, but always open to new things. So that's my life, that's my journey, and it's written in this blog. But my hope is that you are going to go to www.browngirlinterrupting.com and join and subscribe to the blog and read all about my story to help you maybe gain some perspective on yours.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. This is Living Ishe Reviews. I'm Ishe, and on this video, we're going to review Ready to Love, Season 5, Episode 8. And oh boy, this episode was kind of funny. And the season is just about over, but the curveballs that be coming. Uncle Nephew Tommy had the guys introduce their exes to the new girls that they might be with to give them some kind words. Some of the exes was cool, but a lot was hating. So let's get into it. So we starting off at the men's lounge, and they're waiting on Tommy to give them the first curveball. And Tommy is tripping because he's starting these guys off with, "Oh, you're only as good as your last game," which means we're gonna have a case of the exes. Can you believe this? I mean, he wants these men to introduce they soon-to-be's to they now forever was-is. And dang, we starting off with my man Cornelius. This is gonna be crazy. And his ex, and we see in Cornelius's house something very interesting. It's a self-portrait of himself. I didn't realize he was that much into himself, but his ex-girlfriend, and yeah, she seems like a nice woman. Actually, I'm kind of shocked at what Camille is gonna think. I think the meeting with Camille and Cornelius's ex-girlfriend went pretty well. At least Camille was, pretty much pleasant. And I think she did mess up with the ex when it came out that Camille was engaged 3 times and has a child out of wedlock. That's normal in the rest of the world, but for the real religious types like Cornelius and his ex-girlfriend, I think she don't really like Camille that much. But it was funny when Camille asked Cornelius on the way out when was the ex-girlfriend leaving. I mean, she ain't playing about her man. Phil and his ex, and he has Shiloh and Tasia meeting up. And right away, Phil has some good choices.